we might be getting ads coming to Game Pass. This is really strange. It's rumors right now. Let's talk about it. The information reported is that one of her ambitions, and her is what's her
Asha?
name again? I forgot.
Asha?
Ashara?
Asha?
Sharma.
Yeah,
Sharma.
Sharma. Yeah. Asha Sharma. One of her ambitions is to help make future consoles and products like Game Pass more enticing to a broader range of customers. To that end, the report said that Sharma might look to revamp pricing models for Game Pass to offer lower price tiers. Sounds awesome. In October 2025, Microsoft raised Game Pass prices, with Game Pass Ultimate going up 50% to $30 a month. Premium costs $15 a month, and Essential is $10 a month. PC Game Pass costs $16.50 per month while it exists. In terms of a lower price tier for Game Pass, it has been reported that Microsoft could offer an ad-based tier for Game Pass in the future. In fact, it was reported that people may be able to watch ads in exchange for playing Game Pass titles for free. Xbox and then we'll talk about the whole Netflix thing in a little bit. So let's start with this rumor about ads, possible like ad-supported tier for Game Pass. I'm gonna ask two questions, as I always do when we have a rumor. Number one, what do you think that this rumor is true? Like, do you think Microsoft is exploring the idea of allowing people to watch ads in exchange for playing Game Pass titles for free? And then after we talk about if it's true, the second question is, what do you think about that? So, Russ, I'm going to start with you. Go.
Yeah. So, I think the ad supported tier kind of like, just as a user, it makes sense to me. Like, if I'm going to be playing a Game Pass game and I can get a discount for it, and you're just telling me that when I boot it up, I got to watch a video, that's just the time I'm going to go grab a drink. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Or a snack, right? And so for me, it's fine. Like, I was actually looking at the tiers as you guys were talking, and the Game Pass Essential, $10 a month or whatever, it's only got 50 games on Game Pass compared to 500 plus with Game Pass Ultimate. And so, yeah, that's really the rub for me. It's like whether or not it's going to give you access to the games you want to play, because that's going to be the tier, I think, that really separates things. Whether or not it's an ad, as long as it's just like before the game starts, if there's a queue or whatever those things you have to do. I was perfectly happy with GeForce Now at that free tier, where I was like, I can't believe this is free. Yeah, there's an ad, I'll go grab a snack or whatever. For me, that was always great. And so if we see something like that where it's discounted, if they're trying to reach a broader audience, I think people will be okay with it. I don't want ads in any of this stuff, but I think that's probably a fair way to lower the prices for them.
What do you think about it, Carrie?
It depends on how egregious the ads are. Like, is it going to be like, maybe like when the AI comes around, it'll be like Truman Show thing, and like in the game, it's like Ovaltine. You can get some, like, what the hell? Who are you talking to? What the hell are you talking about? This is like, so if it's like that, that would be truly terrible. I mean, like, really bad. So I hope it's not that. If it's like a video,
I gotta jump in. When you said Ovaltine, it made me think of A Christmas Story, where he gets his decoder after eating, and it says drink more Ovaltine. And I'm imagining like you're playing the next Fallout. You know how when you hack the things and it's like CFRF or whatever, and when you hack it, it's like subscribe to Game Pass or something like that, or Tide Pods, eat them while they're fresh, or whatever it is.
It's gonna be like, it really depends on the type of thing it is. And like, if it's just a video in the beginning, like, okay, you can kind of navigate around that with some different patterns of how you're going to do things. Like Russ said, get a drink or something. But you can't like just be like, oh, you've been playing for 5 minutes, have an ad for 90 seconds. And it's just like, that's a surefire way to someone like, actually, I'm not going to play at all. I'm just going to stop playing. So I don't feel like that is a winning thing.
Imagine playing Super Meat Boy and just
and
ad loads every time you die.
Like there's games that there is no actual pause button, right? Like, there's just like you pause, like a menu comes up, but the game is still going. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that certainly sucks for me. Like I don't know what's going on to my character right now. I'm probably dead. Who knows? You're like, and that's the end of that ad. And then, so there's like lots of things that can go there. Although I also did hear another twist on this ad supported lower cost one, that there would be a lower cost one, no ads, but only Microsoft Studio games, no other indie games, no other thing, literally just Microsoft Studio games. And that's also appealing. So I think when we're hearing all these things, like sometimes you get these where the rumors are like allowed to percolate so that they can get unsolicited feedback from places and see how people feel. So I don't know. I think it's probably in some realm of truth where they're looking to offer another tier or try to condense and do whatever and make things a little bit more clear, because it's how they have it right now. Like the Game Pass Essentials is still needed for online play, right? I have no idea.
I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably.
So
at least
I will say that how they
Helix.
roll out these ads is going to be really important. Like, so I'm a T-Mobile guy with my phone, right? And it comes with free Hulu, but it's like Hulu with ads, and the ads are so bad that I just don't even use it. You know what I mean? And so there's definitely like a slope there. And I do hope that if they are going to do something ad supported, that it does make it so it's, I don't know, at least palatable.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, to the question of whether or not the rumor is, if there's some truth to it, I have to believe that, first of all, everything's on the table, but certainly that something like this is on the table for Microsoft. Char Lanazard gives her like what she pictures is the ideal scenario for a lot of these corporations. She gives it a lot of times where it's like, imagine you're watching an ad for a game on your phone and you press a button and then you're just playing that game on your phone, right? Like that's, if Microsoft could accomplish that with Game Pass, and it would make sense to do it on like an ad supported tier or something like that, where you don't necessarily have to be locked in, but you're able to flip that button and now you're playing the game. That would be huge for Microsoft. To me, it still seems like so far away. It still seems like it's not close to being possible, but who knows?
Google had that with Google Stadia. You could be watching a video and then you could just push a button and you could play that game instantly. It was
amazing.
Really weird.
It made a lot more sense for like specifically YouTube, right? That synergy of YouTube and Stadia, there was that synergy. But OnLive, and I think we've had this conversation, I've said this before, but OnLive, the first game streaming service that came out.
Hold on, is that the one that was bought by PlayStation, or is that the one that was bought by Microsoft?
No. PlayStation owns it now, but OnLive became Gaikai, and then Sony bought Gaikai, and that is who knows like what type of, how much of that technology they still have. But Burnout Paradise was specifically like, there is functions in Burnout Paradise where you could do that whole wall of TVs of people playing and see them. And in Burnout Paradise, you can be watching someone and say, oh, I want to play with them. And Burnout Paradise had the feature where it was like, oh, OnLive, the second player came in and you just like look at their thing. And then all of a sudden your car comes in and then you are focused on that car and it's completely seamless. And it was like, oh, wow, that's something that cloud streaming offers that nothing else offers. And that's super cool.
Yeah.
And nothing really happened with it. So it'll be interesting but I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like if anyone was going to do it, YouTube is probably the better bet.
Well, they tried it and it never worked.
Right.
And speaking of things that, streaming from the cloud allowed you to, the Division 2, again, on Google Stadia, it was the only place where you could do this. When you played that, like if I was playing with you guys, I could see your screens on my screen as little windows on the right-hand side. So if like we're teamed up and we're doing a dungeon or whatever, I could see exactly what you guys were doing. So like if Carrie called out, hey, there's something to my left or whatever, I could look at his screen and see where he's talking about easily. It was a really cool feature. At the same time, I was so focused on looking at my crosshairs that I usually didn't look over there. But when you watch somebody playing and you can see all that stuff happening, you're always like, that's really freaking cool that they can do that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was just going to say, I'd be remiss if I didn't also like tie this back to the PS5 story. Like part of me has felt, as long as cloud gaming has been a thing, like there's no price that make sense for both the gamer and the corporation. Like if you price it well for the gamer, it's going to be too low for the corporation to make back, the data center spend that they're spending. That formula has to change a little bit with gaming hardware going the way it's going, right? Like these corporations are just acquiring all of this hardware anyway for their data center, specifically Microsoft, right? So they have this hardware, and now it makes more sense for them to trade some of that usage, especially off-peak hours, to gamers to get back some ad money, to get back even just a little bit of that money. I think that equation just flips a little bit, and they can now start to have prices that make more sense for both the gamer and for Microsoft.
The one thing that I'll say in response to that is, like, the whole reason that we've been talking about this is because of the possibility of ads coming to give you free access to Game Pass games. In my experience, the ads always start in the free tier, and then they find some way to migrate up to the other tiers. And then you're like, well, my wife and I were watching Downton Abbey, which, if you've never seen it, it's a freaking great show. But we were watching Downton Abbey on Amazon. We had already seen it, but the new movie was coming out, so we were going through and like rewatching the series to refresh because it'd been a long time. And like halfway through our rewatch, suddenly we started seeing ads, and we're like, what the hell? And it was because Amazon had changed the rules or something, and it was an extra $1 per month to get rid of those ads again, where we were already on the ad-free plan, but then they changed the plans. And it's like, that stuff drives me crazy. And if Microsoft is going to put ads in Game Pass, they're going to say, well, for now it's in the free tier, but next year it's going to be in, what's the lowest tier called?
Essentials.
Next year it'll be in Essentials. And
Yeah,
then the year after that, it'll be in the middle tier or whatever. And then it'll just be in all of them. And then it's just ads all the time. You're going to be in the middle of a game, and somebody's going to pop up on the bottom of the screen, and they're going to be like, hey, look at me in the middle of your game, interrupting you like they used to do in 90s TV.
Yeah, there's no question in my mind that you're right? Like the rug pull will continue to happen, and it just will continue to get worse. So I'm with you. I think that there is a chance for this, in an ideal state, to be something that can be attractive to gamers, but there's just no chance in my mind that it stays that way.
Yeah, so I'm going through looking at the Game Pass list of all the games available in the Essential category. So that's the $10 a month one. And all of these games are older games or like former, like previous generation games, like Halo 5 is on here, stuff like that. There's Celeste, there's Slay the Spire and stuff. All these games for me are games that you could pick up on sale for $10 or less, And that's one of those things that's like, okay, that really narrows the kind of window for people who are interested in Game Pass Essential, because it's mostly just going to be, the way I'm looking at it, is that it's somebody who's never played any of these games before. They're finally going to get into it. They don't know which games to buy yet. So they'll spend their $10 a month to try out all these games and then go out and maybe buy them. If they're smart, then they can just go and buy those ones when they're on sale for $10 or less each. And that might be a better deal for them altogether. So, I think that the Game Pass Essential, beyond just making it cheaper, adding ads to whatever, I think just the games and the titles that they're offering is something that doesn't seem to have a lot of allure to it. It doesn't have all the Fortnite or the EA or the Ubisoft games and stuff. You have to get Ultimate for all that.
Not that anybody wants that stuff.
Well, maybe new players would want that. I mean, maybe Fortnite, I feel like it'd still be a draw for people. I'm like, oh, I can play this on console instead of,
I guess
on
so.
my phone or whatever. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let us know what you guys think. Would you exchange your time to play Game Pass games for free? Let us know what you guys think in the comments section down below. This was just a small part of my podcast, the Nerd Nest podcast. And if you enjoyed it, then do me a favor and click on that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, then I think you should check out the link in the description down below the like button. It's going to take you to the full podcast so you can check out the entire conversation and a whole lot more. If that sounds good, I hope to see you over there. Stay rad, and thanks for watching.